people I can see. And so I will start introducing myself. If you know me or not, my name is Paulami, and you are visiting, or you are right now on my YouTube channel called Spice Trip with Paulami, where I try and keep it interesting with a lot of recipes, a lot of vlogs, and then very soon you will see podcasts coming in as well. And during this whole pandemic thing, I have been taking a lot of workshops via YouTube and Zoom. And I otherwise conduct cooking workshops in the Netherlands, in different parts of the country. And I have started with these workshops, but at a 1.5 meters distance, and it's little funny to teach people with that, but then of course we have to maintain that regulation proposed by the government. So if you have joined in, please just maybe type in hi, hello, your name, because of course this is unlike Zoom. I can't really see who's joined in, and in this I can just see how many people are watching me. That's about it. So if you just type in saying hi, hello, where you from, maybe your name, it just makes me happy that I can see that you're watching me. Anyway, so we're going to start with the recipe. All what you need is, so in the Netherlands, if you go into any the corner shops, the tokos or the Asian ethnic stores, you will find something like this, which is the desiccated coconut, or gedroogde geraspte kokos. So you do get the fresh coconut, the fresh grated coconut sitting in the freezer section, or you get the dried desiccated one. You can use the freshly grated ones sitting in the freezer, thaw them and then use it, or you can use the desiccated one, the gedroogde kokos. We will be using this because it's just easier to cook with this one, or rather the laddu is easier with this. So we're going to use that. We'll use condensed milk. Now the authentic recipe is with sugar and milk, but then the job is made easier with condensed milk, because this is literally what that is. It's literally like milk which is been boiled enough for that it gets super condensed, and there's a lot of sugar in it, so you don't need extra sugar for this. So I don't think anybody would need any extra sugar for this. I can see Rekha has said hi. Hi Rekha, thanks for joining in. You would need the third ingredient. So it's literally a 4-ingredient laddu. You need nutmeg. You guys know, because if it's a pretty common Italian or French spice as well. It's not just limited to Asia. So this is nutmeg that we will use. We don't really need to use a lot of nutmeg, but just one. We'll just use some drops or a little teaspoon of it. And we're going to use cardamom. So we're going to powder the nutmeg and the cardamom. A lot of supermarkets already sell powdered note muscat or nutmegs. That's possible. You can use the already powdered one, but then when you freshly powder these kind of spices, they are so much more flavorful and better. So I always prefer powdering myself. Another important thing to remember about nutmeg is that it's a spice which is, it's a traditional, or rather the original tranquilizer. So if you anytime happen to take a lot of note muscat or nutmeg in your meal than prescribed, you will fall off to sleep. So in case anybody suffers with sleep anxiety for one night, maybe having a little bit of nutmeg in their dessert is a good option. But again, I am no doctor and I'm not prescribing this to you. I'm just telling you this is exactly what the one of the elements that nutmeg has. So let's start with the recipe. Let's move it. And in case we realize that the coconut and condensed milk is not coming together and it still needs a little bit of more liquid to, so that we can form the balls, we will add a little bit of milk if required. You can also add coconut milk. You don't have to really add regular milk, but you can do that. And in case you don't want to use condensed milk, because this is not lactose free, but if you want to use lactose-free vegan version of the same recipe, nowadays at major supermarkets or even at the tocos, you do get coconut condensed milk, and that's a really good alternative in case you don't want to have lactose in your meal. So what we're going to do is turn on the gas. Do not keep it on a high flame. I have kept it on the lower end, because the reason why you've turned on your gas and you're going to add the coconut is because you want to give them a little toasty flavor. Otherwise, this recipe can be easily done even without the gas. But we are going to do it because we want to have a little crunch to our coconut. So what I've done is I'm going to eyeball everything, because that's how an Indian recipe is supposed to be. It's generally a lot of eyeballing. You don't really have the exact measurement, yes, but then most of it is a little extra of something maybe. So I have here around a cup to a little extra of a cup of coconut, and I will add that, and then I'll add around 100-150 ml of the condensed milk. This jar is of 305, so 300 ml, so I'll maybe add half of the can. Okay, let's go ahead and add this. So while this will toast, or rather get that little crunch, we'll also get our nutmeg and cardamom powdered. So what I do is I literally take like a rasper or a grater, and you can just grate your nutmeg. It's that easy, and you get this beautiful aroma that cannot be at all attained from a store-bought nutmeg powder. It's amazing smelling. Okay, that's about it. We are not going to add a lot, otherwise you might just see me go off to sleep while a video is going on. That's not going to happen though, but I'm just saying. If there's anyone else who's watching, please say hi, hello. Oops. I'd love to know if you're watching, your name, where you're from, anything like that. Please do so. We need close to 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom powder. So we will take a few cardamom and then take off the peel, and then use a Faisal or a pestle mortar, and then make it into a fine powder. So we'll keep getting this go around, otherwise it will start getting toasted at only one side of the pan and not the other side. So you don't want one part of the coconut to get burnt and the other not. Otherwise, then the whole pan has to be discarded and you might have to start it again. Okay, so let's get going with our cardamom. So is there anyone who has any weekend plans? Because all of a sudden the weather just got better from the afternoon. The last 5 days it has been incessantly raining, and it was just, it just made me feel that I'm back in India during the monsoons, because that's exactly how it rains in India. It's like always raining, and I come from the western part of India, and it just, in Mumbai, I'm sure you all have read that in Mumbai it gets flooded every time during monsoons, and it's just that just made me feel, am I back in Mumbai? It's a nice feeling if I could be, but then otherwise it's just, gets very, very wet everywhere. But at the same time, if it's raining, a pakoda with chai is a perfect excuse to have. So that is how it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually taking out these the corals or the shells of the cardamom, because I will store these in my chai powder, my tea leaves that I use to make my chai. I'm not going to discard them because they have flavor too, but it's really difficult to get them pounded in a faisal. You really require like and they have a lot of fiber as well, so I'm not going to recommend anyone to use that for making it. So I can see almost there. We are almost there. If you have any question, if anybody is watching and if you have any question, please write it down now. If you're watching this in the future, you can always ask me again in the comment section. The live chat option does not exist at that time because the live chat is available when the live video is happening. But otherwise, let's keep an eye on this. So the minute you start roasting your coconut, like the desiccated coconut, it starts emitting this a slight tinge of a toasty flavor, and I'm just gonna do this for the next another 5 minutes or so, because that's the time that we need for even the cardamom to work, and that's all. And then I'm gonna add the condensed milk to it. So let's first pound these and see if this is enough. You can always use what I do when I make my garam masala or sambar masala or these kind of powders for biryani masala, these kind of things. What I do is I use a coffee grinder to make them because it's pretty powerful, because it is used for a coffee bean. Of course, I don't use that grinder again for making coffee because it's just, you don't want to have spiced coffee. You can, but you wouldn't. So I have a specific coffee grinder for just making my spice mix. So that's something which is a tip in case you happen to have a coffee grinder which is not getting used. You can always use it for making spice mixes. So I'm going to show you with a spoon as to how how finely I have toasted, or rather grounded them. What I want to show you guys is the color of the coconut. I don't know if the camera is doing a good justice to it, but then it has started to get slightly brown. And in spite of this being on a really, really low flame, coconut doesn't need a lot of time to get browned or toasted. So it's getting there. It's almost getting there. I'm going to add my cardamom. So this is how my cardamom is looking like. If you see, this is how it's pounded. If you get the store-bought cardamom, they're super fine, but then they lack the aroma that you need from a good dessert. A good mithai should have, given justice to the cardamom. So we're getting, the coconut looks good to me. You don't need any sugar in this dish, as I said, because of the condensed milk. Let's move these things, and we would take our condensed milk. So I'm using the one from Nestle. You get Slag or Flag or something like that. I think the name of the brand is, which is pretty common as well over here. So you can use any of those two. So let's go ahead and add it. We're not going to keep, yes. So this looks like half of the thing. We'll eyeball it again. We'll see if it needs a little bit more, because we have added a cup, more than a cup. So we might need a little extra of the condensed milk, but we shall eyeball it and see if it needs a little extra. The consistency that it has to come into is that you should be able to lift it and turn it into a ball, and that's the, like, you should be able to make meatballs. Just remember, like a kofta. So you have to be able to make that thing, but it has to stand by itself. You're not going to put it into the freezer or in the oven for it to get the stability, and that's why it's important for us to be able to get that structure by itself. What you could also do is, if you've added somehow all the condensed milk and still not getting that structure, the grip that you need in your laddu, you can always add like a tablespoon of milk, and that will do the trick. So for me, I think that I've mixed it all. I will add a little bit more, like a little bit more of condensed milk. Smelling amazing. I wish you all could smell it. It's amazing. I'm gonna take a little bit more. Take it with a spoon so that it doesn't overflow. That's about it, I think this should do. You don't want this to be too sweet, and that's why I wouldn't recommend to add the whole condensed milk liquid in it, because you're not getting it. Otherwise it turns out to be super sweet, and it's just an overkill sweetness that a dessert would have. Brilliant, I'm getting that. I'm going to turn off the gas. So I've turned off my gas because otherwise the coconut continues to get toasted, and you don't want that. Lovely, lovely. So I'm going to have this as my dessert now. Maybe one or two of these ladoos, can't have a lot, because I just had my dinner an hour back, and in the night sometimes before I sleep I just feel the need of having something, maybe a little piece of chocolate, or maybe something sweet. Not a good habit, but sometimes. So maybe today I will treat myself. It's weekend, I can do that. Okay, now I want to show you how the texture has turned out. This is how it looks like. Maybe I'll try and touch. Yes, so this is how it's look like. Yeah, it's pretty dense when you see it. I'm going to let it cool down for a minute or two because it's hot and you don't want to burn your fingers when you're making the balls. So I'm going to take it off from the flame, because an induction pan just keeps keeping things a little warmer. And what I'm going to do is, I have taken 2 plates. Plate number 1 is, when I make the balls, I will roll it in this. It's almost like making a bliss ball. So I'm going to just roll it out over here, and this is for it to come around. So that's why I've taken a little bit. This is not an important step. You really don't have to take coconut extra for it to be coated around, but then I'm just doing it because, sorry, the dinner has said that it was appreciated by the body. So you really don't have to do the step, but then it just makes it look prettier. It just gets it a good look. Yeah, so all of those aesthetic reasons. Just enjoying a cup of chamomile tea. I love it. I love it in the night. And while you are waiting, just gonna clear up this counter so that, you know, we are good to go. Let's move everything. Now, So let's start the ladoos. Yeah, you can make it as big or as small as you like it. It depends completely upon you what your preferred size of a laddu is. Generally, when you have those big orangish laddus that you might have seen at a toko, those are made out of something called as bundi, and they are a little big. They are never going to be of this tiny size. So what I would recommend is take a little scoop and then keep doing this. You want it to come together, and then take it between your palms and start giving this shape to it, you know. So it gets a perfect round shape from all the edges, yeah. And then we are going to put it in this. It's that easy. Look at that, look at that. Your first laddu is made. It's a fact, guys, it's done. The first laddu is there. So I'm going to show this process again for a couple of more laddus, because so I've taken a little scoop and now you should be able to get this together. If it doesn't come together, then you might need a little bit more of milk or condensed milk, as I said, and that's the indication that your laddu has turned out good. You can place it between two of your palms, keep moving it around so that it gets the round shape, and then take it between your palms and one hand palm, and then keep doing this. This is again just to make it look as round as you can get, you know. So keep doing this step. Lovely. And then add it in that. We will make a few more and then coat it all together so that we have all the laddus. So there you go, few more laddus I have. So this mixture, according to me, should make at least 15 laddus. I will make 3 right now, 3 to 4 or maybe 5 right now, and then the rest after I'm done. Again, the same step. You just keep doing this and then place it in there. Yeah, super simple. Remember to do this while the coconut mixture is slightly hot. You don't want to do this maybe an hour later or even 30 minutes from now, because that will not give you this grip, you know. You will not be able to do this anymore after this, and that's why it's better to do it when it's pretty much lukewarm temperature, and that's the easiest way that you can get it. It looks funny on the screen with me doing this. Okay. So you got the gist how easy making this laddu is. It's the reason I thought of making this today is because I've had a few of you who've asked me how can we, what kind of desserts can we make, Indian desserts, because all I've been doing is savory. I thought, okay, let's do something easy, simple, and this is why I thought of this recipe. So we've got our 5 laddus made. I will make this really soon. Let's coat them all. Yeah, it's super easy. What you could also do is just take the plate and shake it. My plate is not that big, doesn't have edges, so I'm not going to do that. Got 2 here. I've got the 3rd one. You can also add colors to it. You can add colors to your coconut or to the mixture, so you can make pink color, green color, so you can add some pandan extract or the blue pea, huh? Or dry fruits. You can also add hibiscus, you know, like different colors, natural colors that you want. You can make these laddus of different colors and just unleash your creativity. Exactly, the same thing can also have a little bit of cashew nuts or almonds as well. Also a good addition to a laddu like this. Now, there you go. We've got our 5 laddus. I'm going to taste one of them to see if it has turned out good. What I would recommend is once you make this, put it inside the fridge for like 30 minutes so that it gets set completely. You want to taste half of it? Perfect. I've got a thumbs up from my husband here. It's perfect laddus. It's sweet. It has to be sweet. It cannot be not sweet. And it's turned out really, really good. Easy. I think because it was on a live call, I took around 20 minutes to do this. It's 8:28-ish. Otherwise, this recipe could have been done in 10 minutes. I'm going to do the rest of the laddus after this, but if you happen to watch this video live or later on, please drop in a comment as to if you've made laddus before and what your experiences are. And if you happen to try these laddus, you know what to do. Tag me on your Instagram, send me a photo, DM me your creation. My name is same Spice Trip with Paulami. So please let me know how it has turned out. Give me a like on this video. Share this with your friends and family, and maybe if you're having a party and throwing Indian dishes, this can go in with that as well. But till we see each other again, I would like to just say bye to you all, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Bye.